And we are live once again. I think. I hope so. God damn it. I was debating whether or not to stream today. Because of what happened just before I went live now. So I had a pretty darn long conversation with my dad on the phone. Talking about music and stuff. He said, by the end of the call, he told me, son, I think you can make it with the music. And are we peaking here? I think we're peaking slightly. Let's turn it down just a little bit. So yeah, finally, after all these years, my dad has supported me with the music. Because when you're young, everyone wants to be a rock star. Everyone wants to be, a football player or whatever. Everyone wants that. I, of course, was no different. I've always wanted to be a rock star. I've always wanted to do music as a job. And I never left that dream, behind. I never quit that. I've always just kept going at it. And in the past, my parents have always been like, yeah, that's nice and all, but, you know, don't quit your job. Get a real job, you know, all that. But yeah, finally, fuckingly, my dad went and said that he think I can do it. So yeah, I don't know. Started tearing up after the fucking phone call. Because finally they see. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I've been going on all cylinders now for about 3 years. I've been making music for 15, but the last 3 I've been going pretty hard. And these days it's not uncommon for me to make, 5 or 6 songs a week. So it feels really nice to finally get some, some feedback on that, some support. So now I just got to do it. Now I just got to, show that I actually can do it. It's a totally different thing, but hearing that from someone I respect as much as my dad definitely gave me a boost. Really did. I really feel like I can do it now. Not that I've had my doubts, like in my mind, the fact that someone has done it, has made music their career, that means I could potentially do it. That means that there is a chance. And then it's just figuring out, how do we do it? How do I, get there? And I have a couple projects now which have the potential to go somewhere. Again, it took 15 years, but I finally feel like I'm at the point where I'm good enough. Not that I won't keep improving, but I feel like my skill level right now as a songwriter is at the level where I can actually get something done. I can actually do something. Achieve something. So I'm excited. I'm very excited to see where this is going. Because I've got the James Blue album coming out. And I want to do more. I want to throw myself more into the commission sort of game. Because I've done a couple commissions before this, and I've done a couple now as James Blue. And I really love doing this commission thing. It really fits how I make music. And I've gotten nothing but praise for the music that I've done for people. So it's very rewarding. Then I also have another 2 albums on other projects that are coming out this year. Total, think I should have time to release 6 albums this year. Which is pretty insane. But but as much as I've thrown myself into music, yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like much, right? That's 6 albums. That's 1 every 2 months. That doesn't feel like much. But well, it's quite a bit more than a lot of my contemporaries. But I mean, that's kind of how my brain works. I'm naturally very creative, to a fault sometimes. I just go at all cylinder, full force ahead. That's kind of how I've always done stuff. Also, there's the band stuff, which our gigs are sort of on hiatus now because of, the virus and all that. But we do have a couple of gigs. And both are pretty important. Like with my band, we've gotten to sort of a place where we sort of just choose the most important jobs, where we know there's going to be important people, so we don't just take anything. And so far that's been working pretty good. We've gotten a lot of praise in the media and stuff. So that's also going forward. So I'm seeing, I do think that there's a good chance that I'll reach my goal of having music as my job by the time I turn 30. That's kind of my goal. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Anyways, today I've been... Well, I did make a song today. Played it. I think it was the second song I played during like the whatchamacallit, the starting soon kind of thing. Made one song. It went pretty smoothly, pretty quick. And then I tore down my entire studio to set up some new gear. And that took some time. That took like 5 fucking hours to get everything set up. It's crazy times, crazy times. Anyways, let's see here. Let's go over to this. Boom. So look at this. This was the most promising of the two we looked at last time. I should also say that I've been having quite a lot of wine. I did go and get a glass of wine when I planned to start the stream. But then my dad called and he talked for like an hour. And I was just drinking wine while talking to him. So now I'm pretty much halfway down into my second glass. So, also, okay, I'm pretty tired. Anyways, look at that. We didn't look at this because it's outside my budget. We looked at this. Notice this. Can we read the full story? 10 out of 10. Let's look at the pictures. I don't know if I've seen this. I think I have, but I don't know. Because they look very similar, these Renault cars. Oh, no. Oh, my God. This does not have an attractive back end. Oh, my God. That looks fucking Oh, my God. Looks so depressing. Looks like you've given up in life. The inside looks cool, though. I like the seam here. And the center console is, of course, automatic. Which, I like manual. I do. I guess it's a thing getting used to it. It has one of those where you put the key in, then you press the button. I don't really see why. I don't really see the point of that. If you're gonna put the key in there anyways, why not have an actual key where you turn it? And if you're gonna have a button, why not just have a button where you can just walk in with key, put it there, and start it? I don't get it. I do like the screens here. Pretty nice. So, like, the interior looks pretty nice. These are pretty thin too, so you get a good view of what's going on. But you have to sit in that. Oh my God. It looks horrendous. Looks so shit. What is that? What are these lines? God. And this back end. Oh my God. Oh. But the inside looks good. Inside looks great. 4. Efficiency and range. More powerful motor. New interior options. Option to lease battery or buy outright. Free wall box. Oh shit. That's good. That's some good shit there. Oh, what am I doing here? Oh my god. There we go. Against. Fast charger not standard and only 50 kilowatts. Can't carry 4 adults comfortably. Driver seat not height adjustable. For me, that's not really a downside. It's very, very rare that I drive and have 4 people with me. This is a bit of a minus with it, though. Tiny electric vehicles are about to become a big thing. Until now, Renault's had the market for such cars all to itself. But with the cute Honda E, long-awaited Mini Electric and Peugeot E208 Corsa E soon to land in dealers, life is about to get much more complicated for Europe's best-selling electric car. The new Zoe doesn't totally rewrite... Oh my god, the wine is starting to work. Doesn't totally rewrite the formula. It looks much the same as before, largely because underneath it's still that same car. The one that was launched in 2012 and since upgraded with more efficient motors and bigger batteries. Its exterior... oh my god. Its exterior has been given a bit of going over. But the interior is totally new, with a big portrait touchscreen and more soft-touch high-end materials instead of the old car's brittle plastics. See, I like the interior of the car. It looks pretty neat. I like it. Meanwhile, new driver assistant tech like lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, and blind spot monitoring ought to make this 4-meter-long city car feel less out of sorts on motorways. 4 meters long. The bigger battery and optional more powerful R135 motor should have much the same effect. The former, a 52 kilowatt per hour pack that replaces the old car's 41 kilowatt battery, gives up to a third more range, for a claimed 245 miles between charges. That's significantly more in some cases than any of its rivals. The latter drops the 0 to 62 miles per hour time to under 10 seconds, and it cuts the time taken for the Zoe to accelerate from 50 to 75 miles per hour by more than 2 seconds. As with all electric vehicles, these two things cannot happen simultaneously. Charging is quicker too, now that the Zoe supports DC charging up to 50 kilowatts via a CCS port hidden behind the Renault's badge. CCS, wasn't that the standard kind of thing that they talked about in the previous cars? I think so. The £750 option, boo, why isn't it standard Renault? Means half an hour on such a charger is enough to add 90 miles of a range. A normal 22 kilowatt roadside charger takes an hour to add 78 miles. Do you see that there's a little bit of noise on the mic, which is quite strange. I kind of want to check that out, see if it's. I want to hear it. How does it sound? You see that there's a little bit of noise on the mic, which is quite strange. I kind of want to check that. Okay, it's not horrendous. Turn this down again. Let's keep going. Renault expects most Zoe customers to go for the new, more powerful motor, dubbed R135. It makes the equivalent of 134 brake horsepower and 181. What's that? LB? Is that pounds? Foot? For fuck's sake. From 0 to 30 miles per hour, the R135 is precious a little quicker than the R110, which is carried over from the old Zoe uncharged 3.6 place 3.9 seconds. I don't know what that means. But it's around 2 seconds faster from 0 to 62 miles per hour. And the same again from 50 to 75 miles per hour. The R135 is marginally more expensive to buy outright. £450, and you can't get it with base plate trim. In a higher insurance group, well, I don't know how that works in Norway, because this is obviously in Britain, and I don't live there. And slightly less efficient than the less powerful R110. Nonetheless, it's still the one we'd buy. You really notice the extra power. Makes the Zoe feel much more sprightly. In town, you can exploit gaps you wouldn't have dared to go for in the old one, while in fast roads, it means the Zoe feels more mature, less out of its step. Both motors come with a new 52 kilowatt per hour battery, which is physically the same size and shape as the old one, so it doesn't compromise interior space. Quoted range is between 238 and 245 miles, depending on which motor and trim you go for, which isn't far off twice as much as the Honda E, and significantly more than the Corsa or 208. Renault says realistically you should get about 233 miles of range in summer months, but as little as 149 miles when you've got the heating running full blast in winter. We reckon that's about right. After 150 miles or so of mixed driving, we averaged about 4.9. Oh my god. Miles per kilowatt hours is less than what Renault claims. Of course, it's quite a lot less too. Drawing carefully, a VW e-Golf might average 4. And we struggle to get any more than 3.6 from the Nissan Leaf. There's more than Leaf then. There's an eco button for even more eco. But all it seems to do is feed the throttle a sleeping tablet or 6. Leave it unpushed. An eco mode. That seems... Well, I guess it would be like... It starts saving power? No, for the new Zoe is a B mode that amps up the regen. You can never turn it completely off. Even in D, you can still feel the car slow as you lift off the throttle. But B is supposed to make it more of a one-pedal car. It isn't really a one-pedal car in the same way the Nissan Leaf with its e-pedal system is, but with a bit of forethought, it's totally possible to drive the Zoe around with only one sparing use of the brake pedal. Which is good, because even though they've supposedly been improved, the brake pedal still feels a bit springy to us. That's not good. The Zoe rides pretty well, giving its titchy dimensions. Things can get a bit bobbly over the really broken surfaces, but for the most part, it's soft and forgiving enough. At least around town. It's less good on quicker roads, but still by no means uncomfortable. More sound deadening has been added, so now the Zoe is quieter than ever. And the new front seats are comfortable, if a bit flat. Long journeys are no trouble. I'm 6 feet and emerged after a couple hours driving, no grumpier than when I got in. Just a tad taller of me. Think. 6. Yeah, just a little bit taller than me. It's a couple centimeters taller. Where are we now? It's fun, not in this thing handles better than a Ford Fiesta ST kind of way, but yes, there is fun to be had here. Mostly in town, skirting between sets of traffic lights and blinding your way through side streets, avoiding tailbacks. This is probably the most fun you can have driving in built-up areas right size. Right powertrain, right performance. Now the Zoe's got more power. Oh my god. Now the Zoe's got more power, there's fun to be had out of town too. The steering is light and fluffy, but pretty accurate. And despite a hefty curb weight, (1,502 kilograms, 326 of which is battery), that's more than the Focus ST. It's quite agile. It's kind of the important part for me. Layout finish in space. The Zoe's totally new interior, largely lifted from the new Clio, is a big step up. Material quality, infotainment, and general comfort have all been massively improved. First thing you notice is the driving position, which in the old car was hampered by a fixed height driver's seat and a steering wheel that for some reason didn't adjust for reach. New car seats, which are new, are still fixed. And I'm measured too high at that. No! But at least now the steering wheel telescopes in a good way. Well, that's good at least, though. That's good at least. Start this again. Out of the dashboard. This makes a big difference, especially on longer journeys. The Nissan Leaf doesn't have a telescoping steering wheel, unforgivable if you ask us. Yeah, same. Behind the nice new steering wheel is a 10-inch display, which is standard in even the cheapest Zoe, and is very smart indeed, if not as customizable or useful as Audi's virtual cockpit, for example. The new flagship infotainment system is lifted from the new Clio, standard on top GT line and optional on mid-range iconic trims. It uses a 9.3-inch portrait touchscreen that stands proud of the dashboard. Does the touchscreen that stands proud of the dashboard? Right. A smart UI and the fact the screen is set so high mean it's comparably easy to flick through menus while driving. Underneath you'll find a strip of buttons that even in our top spec test car are mostly blank. Weird. Next up or down are the climate controls, which mercifully have not been integrated into the touchscreen, and a couple of USB ports. Not those newfangled USB-Cs either. Then comes the new gear lever, an electronic parking brake, and wireless phone charger. Well, that's kinda nice. The latter is handy, though it takes an age to charge the phone, and it makes it really quite hot. But such is its sideless design. Especially spirited Corning could see your precious device slide clean off it and down the side of one of the front seats. Not ideal. That's not good. The old Zoe felt like a bit of a tin can, as though Renault had spent the budget on the drivetrain before remembering it had to trim the interior too. In the new car, the center console and dashboard are mostly shod with fabric made from recycled seat belts and old plastic bottles. Together with the new screens and more solid, soft touch plastics, get into gamer stance here. It gives the cabin a much needed lift. Caveat, the only Zoes available for us to test were top-spec GT line trim. Base play and mid-range iconic cars, more on trims in the owning section, might not be so impressive. Watch this space. Talking of space, it's not impractical. The Zoe, at least when it comes to storing things, the door bins are big, and while the glove box is small, there is a handy shelf above it. Pity there are no pockets on the backs of the front seats, but the boot is fine too. People, not so much. Legroom for those sitting in the back is poor. You might be alright on a short journey, but this is not a car in which 4 or even 3 adults could travel for any long length of time. Yeah, I know about this car. Like, the interior looks pretty darn nice, but I don't know. The exterior looks horrendous. I don't really like the shape of it. These things here makes it look pretty shitty. This is the owning. Renault will happily take your money in a couple of different ways. bought outright, the Zoe starts at £25,670 after the government's plug-in car grant, or 27,620 if you want the new R135 motor, which isn't available with the base trim level. That's about the same as the Peugeot E208, Vauxhall Corsa E, and Honda E, which all cost in the region of 25 grand to 26. Right. Or you can buy the car, then effectively lease the 52 kilowatt per hour battery from Renault. Do this and you'll be asked to pay from 18,670 or, oh my god, that's a lot, upfront, then a monthly rental on the battery. The bigger your annual mileage, the more you'll have to pay per month. Prices for the new car haven't been finalized, but for the old 40 kilowatt per hour car, Renault charged £59 a month for the 59 pounds a month. That's more than I pay for diesel for my car a month. For the 4,500 miles per year. From then on, it's charged an extra £10 per month for every additional 1,500 miles. So, 6,000 miles per year costs £69. Nice. 7,500 costs £79, and so on. An unlimited mileage plan costs £110 per month. I don't drive that much a month, so if you buy a Zoe R135 for 20,620 and pay, say, £79 per month for 7,500 miles per year, you could drive it for over 7 years, covering 52,500 miles before it would become more economical to have bought the car outright. Go down this route and Renault guarantees the battery to 75% of its original capacity and will replace it when it dips below that. That's nice. Gives you 24/7 roadside assistance that covers you even if you run out of juice. Buy the car outright and you're warranted for 8 years, 100,000 miles, and the battery to 66% of its original capacity. Both these options, outright purchase or battery lease, work with finance too. Go for the battery lease option, and the monthly lease payment for the car itself is simply added to your battery payment. Oh shit. Go to the there. But whichever way you choose to do it, Renault will install a free 7 kilowatt wall box at your house. That's pretty nice. A must-have for any electric vehicle owner, capable of charging the Zoe from empty to 100% in around 9.5 hours, significantly faster than a 3-pin plug. The company says a full charge should cost around £7 on a standard UK energy tariff. For the first time, the Zoe supports 50 kilowatt DC charging. Well, it does if you go for the R135 motor and pay an extra 70 £750. So equipped, it'll get you to 80% charge in 1 hour 10 minutes. It's worth bearing in mind that competitors such as the Honda E and Vauxhall Corsa, Peugeot E Turn 8 supports 100 kilowatt charging, which gives an 80% charge in 30 minutes, but then you have to actually find a 100 kilowatt charger. Right. There are 3 trim levels to choose from: Play, Iconic and GT line. The former is only available with the little R110 motor, but has the headline grabbing 18,670 price. Nonetheless, it still gets full LED headlights, 7-inch touchscreen, cruise control, automatic full LED headlights, and air conditioning. Iconic adds the option to upgrade to the R135 motor, wireless phone charging, and some assistance systems. Meanwhile, GT line gets the big infotainment system. You can spec it on Iconic. Nicer trim, blind spot warning, and 16-inch alloy wheels. Verdict. Renault mends the bits that needed mending and leaves the bits that didn't. A big step forwards. Almost 1 in 5 electric cars sold in Europe is a Renault Zoe. It's hugely popular, and with good reason. Renault says its customers didn't want a massive redesign, but for the company to focus its effort on key problem areas to keep costs low. Which is how we've ended up with an interior that sleeps ahead of the old cars. More driver assistance systems and more powerful motor and even greater range for no more money. As heavy facelifts go, this is a good one. Plus the flexibility to lease the battery rather than buy the whole car outright means the Zoe is cheaper to buy than its main competitors. Competitors, something the Zoe hasn't really had for the 7 or so years it's been on sale. Happily, this year's upgrade means when the likes of the Honda E, Peugeot E208 and the Vauxhall E Corsa eventually arrive, the Zoe won't be outclassed. We'd be very surprised if it doesn't continue to sell pretty large numbers. Right. Let's go back to the pictures here. Because it... I don't drive a lot, and, you know, there's quite a lot of Teslas on this list. But this car just screams, I have given up. Right? It looks so sad. So sad. Even if the, battery lease is a pretty fun kind of thing. Pretty nice thing. And the interior looks really nice. It just screams, I've given up. I mean, look at that. It looks horrendous. It looks... Oh my god. It looks so shit. But in here, it looks cool. Looks fantastic. But I mean, put a big ass touchscreen in any car, and it automatically looks really cool. I don't know. Are those Bose speakers? I don't know. But I mean, it doesn't. I don't like the sign of it. It looks goofy. As I said, it looks like you've given up. I mean, come on. And this line here, I know I'm focusing quite a lot on this line here, but it looks so fucking goofy. Also, the headlight, or the tail lights stick out. Get this weird line here. The wheels feel too small, I guess. And I don't really like this here. Yeah, look at that. Ugh. This here. This thing. I don't like it. Looks goofy. And the back. I mean, why would they do this? This here. Why? Why? Looks so shit. And like, I don't drive much. It's pretty much the trip to work every day and trip to my parents every so often. But I don't want to look like this when I'm driving to work. I'm not quite there yet. I want a car that looks, you know, I don't need a supercar or something crazy like a Tesla. But, you know, it needs to look, you know, a little bit cool at least, you know? And I mean, if none of these electric cars, you know, feel good enough, I guess, feel right, I'll probably go for another diesel, to be completely honest. I think I'll go for the Skoda Superb line of cars. My parents has one, and I've driven it a couple of times. I really like it. It's a lot bigger than my car, but it feels really nice to drive. And if you take it to a mechanic and you know, beef it up a little bit, it feels pretty nice to drive. It's very reactive and feels a lot lighter than it is. A lot more like my car, because my car is pretty small and light, and it has a fairly powerful motor, so you know, it feels light, it feels responsive, it feels agile, and that's kind of what I want in a car. And of course, the eye candy is, you know, it's not the main concern, but it is a little bit of a concern, right? This won't pass because I'm just gonna be fucking depressed every time I go out to go to work. Like in that way, let's see, can I go back here? Let's go back. the well, this looks a lot nicer. I'll tell you that. So far, this is the one that has been like the one that I feel the most. Well, it's the winner so far. Because this looks fucking depressing. And this next one, but the best premium small E. I think I'll end the stream pretty soon, but let's just look at the pictures. I'm a little skeptical of this line here. This line like here, where it goes in and then boo. Get this weird like choo-choo. I mean, it looks fucking amazing inside, and there's fucking wood here. Holy shit! Holy shit! There's wood in this car. Wow, I kind of like this. It looks fucking clean. Like, look at this. You know, they've removed all the things here and kept a very clean look. Almost sort of minimalistic. I really like this. This looks really nice. This might be an issue though. From the side, I don't know about this. And this, I feel like the wheels are almost too big for the car. Looks a little bit fat back here too. But this, oh, what the fuck happened here? Why is it a different color? Besser heute in Sölden. Aha. Ein Fahrzeug. Yeah, there's not a lot of leg room here. This, of course, is like smaller car, so there's gone. Fuck the fifth passenger. I'm just gonna put the cup holders there, so you can't get a fifth passenger in. But I guess it's so narrow that you couldn't really do that. It looks pretty neat. The seats are really fucking like narrow too, like thin. It's the word I'm looking for. I don't know about this though. This, like, I can count on one hand the number of times I've had to have people back in the back seat. Like, normally it's, you know, just me or me and a mate. There's very few times I need the back seat. So and I don't drive long distance either. So, you know, it's not a huge minus for me. Oh, this is a good picture. It looks pretty neat though. Yeah, I gotta admit, it looks pretty nice. And the wood here. I don't know if that's real wood or just a veneer. It's kind of a kind of a coming from me as a synth kind of guy. Got a synth right in front of me here, and that has real wood on it. On the side here, there's nice real wood. This looks nice though, and we will look at it more in the next stream, which will probably be on Sunday. If not, actually, let me change the scene here. Because I'm in talks with another VTuber. It's called Alva. Kind of thinking of setting up an Ark server and, you know, streaming there. You know, inviting VTubers to play on there. And you're, you know, just having a great time. So I think we'll set that up on Sunday. Because tomorrow I'll be going to my parents. Because both my sister and brother are coming home. So, you know, you kind of gotta prioritize family, you know, once in a while. Can't be just a hermit. At least not all the time. And while I do enjoy the hermit lifestyle, you know, it's good to get out sometimes. Especially since I've experienced the dark side of being a hermit. Where you just become a total recluse and withdraw from the society. But yeah. So tomorrow, the reason why this stream is going to be short is because I gotta get up early tomorrow. Because of some bullshit at work. I gotta take an extra shift. And since I'm the only one who doesn't have kids or, you know, bullshit like that, I was the one who had the worst excuse for not taking a shift. So my boss was like, well, you'll take it, right? I mean, I got something out of it, though. You know, when you're the only one who can take a shift, you have quite a bit of, you know, sway and, you know, payment stuff. So I do get a fair amount of stuff out of it, you know. An extra day off, extra pay, you know. It's nice. It's really nice. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Well, guess I could talk about that. There was a oh my god, that's just like porn. There's so much porn on the Twitter. Jesus Christ. Like, it's nothing really wrong about it, but it's just like, it's scrolling, it's wholesome, and then just like, you know, it's just full on porn. And even though I shouldn't be surprised, it surprises me every time. Is this porn? Well, nearly. Good thing I don't have that up on stream. Well, I guess like what I thought to talk about. There's one VTuber talk about like the money thing, where everyone else was like commissioning artists to make stuff for them, you know, banners and backgrounds and all that stuff, and they didn't have the money for that, and felt that that was, you know, what was holding them back. Now, I don't think really money is that big of a thing. As for my stream, it's a little bit of a dust. I like to keep it sort of simplistic. I don't want to just completely hide the content with, you know, having a one of them. What's it called? Where basically the well, say when I'm playing a game, where the gameplay is just a smaller window. I feel like that sort of loses the point of what you're showing. You're showing the gameplay, you know? So the gameplay should, you know, it should be the model and the gameplay. Those are the most important pieces, right? Because you want to see the reaction and you want to see what the streamer is reacting to. Those are the important things. And then covering it with just like, you know, big as lines on the bottom. Let's see if I can get this. Can I move it, please? Please. I can't. But so it was a big as black bar at the bottom here, and a big as black bar on the right side here, and I was moved to the side like this. You lose quite a lot of screen space doing that. Oh shit. It's the center. There we go. You lose quite a bit of screen real estate, and every inch of the screen is precious. So putting, you know, donation goals, the chat, putting, recent donations, putting logos and animations and all kinds of shit on the screen. It often defeats, you know, it doesn't work because it takes away from the content, which is the most important thing. I think a lot of people think that looks professional, but it really doesn't. It looks kind of well, it has the opposite effect, essentially. It looks unprofessional. It looks like 90s web design. While, you know, keeping things clean, neat, you know, and not taking away from what people are actually there to watch. I think that's kind of important. Because who looks at all the different things that you put? The chat, maybe for VODs and stuff, people like to watch the chat. But donation goals, keep them small at least, you know? Maybe people want to see that. But if you're gonna keep it on screen, make it small, because you already have quite a limited amount of screen real estate. and making that real estate smaller is going to take away from your content. So you don't really need all that kind of stuff. And for a background, it doesn't, like, I have the space background here. Say like this kind of thing. I made that in Photoshop. But, anything goes, really. This as well. I made all of this myself. I have Photoshop for, different stuff. But you could use other stuff. It doesn't really matter. And the background here, that's just a video from, I think, video blocks, some story blocks, something like that, of space. But it doesn't need to be this complex. A lot of people just have a drawing in the back, but I feel like that isn't the most important part. Like, the personality and the actual content is the important part. Whether you have like a nicely drawn background or not doesn't really matter. And as for background music, there's so much royalty-free stuff. It's almost harder to find, stuff that isn't royalty-free than stuff that is. And, well, to do a little bit of self-promotion here, my stuff is Creative Commons. And I know a lot of other producers that, release their stuff under a Creative Commons license where, well, you can use it for your content. No problem. You can use it for free. The only thing it requires you to do is to give credit to the one that made the song. So you can have, and a lot of royalty-free music is fucking great. So I guess that only leaves the model. For me, I just have a basic model for now. I do, like, if I still enjoy it in December, when I've set the sort of deadline for whether or not I will continue to do this. If I still want to do this in December, I do think I'll commission someone to make a more personal model for me, one that feels more like me. But I mean, money can buy you a lot of things, but I think the misconception is that they think things like the background, things like the model, things like maybe the background music, things like that are the things that make people, grow a lot, which it's not. It's the personality. The content comes first, but the money aspect of it is the promotion. If you put money into promotion, well, you'll get places. I mean, if your content is good. If you're making good content and use money wisely to promote it, you'll get places. It's kind of sad that it is like that, but it sort of is. And what's good about the internet is you don't really need to do that. And in real life too, like just networking will get you pretty darn far. And I mean, with like networking does sound kind of scary. It does sound kind of sleazy. Sounds like you're approaching people for the wrong reasons, but really it's about making and maintaining friendships. Right? Networking is give and take, and it's about making friends and growing together. That's what it's about. So I don't know. And again, I'm wondering, how the fuck do I end the stream? I think I'll just end it and kind of